This is the 8th horse that I'm painting for SavannahStation. And this is Thule. Normally I have my picture pulled up on my phone so that I can zoom in. I've already done the rough in of everything. So I get the rough color. I've already completed the muzzle. I always start with the eyes. So I've already finished the eyes. I always start with the eyes and then I do the muzzle and then I work myself up from the muzzle all the way up to the ears. Actually, the ears are usually the last thing I do. Well, the mane typically is the last thing I do, but as far as the body goes, the ears. So I have this is called a Stay Wet handy palette, and it is dirty, but this is what painting is about, isn't it? So my paint, because I mix all my paint on my palette to get the colors that I need for the horses, this has a foam sponge thing that it stays wet, and then your paper is a little bit wet and it keeps your acrylic from drying out. So the handiest thing that I have found. I'm gonna try to paint a little bit while I have this going. I've tried to rig my phone up so that I could paint hands-free. I don't have like a holder yet, so I'm gonna paint just a little bit and then turn it off, okay? So I'm gonna try to blend this area here out with this sorrel color. So I've mixed two colors over here, burnt sienna, and this is a golden straw color. And actually that's not the color I need for that area. Sorry about that. Let me just clean my brush. I'm using a filbert brush that has seen better days. Because of my painting technique, I really use these paint brushes, and they get worn out. So I have my burnt sienna, which I'm using traditional burnt sienna. I think I'll do a little bit more here. And then I have burnt umber. Actually, it's traditional burnt umber. I have found that this is a great combination for the dark part of a sorrel horse. Took me, well, this is horse number 8, so it took me a little bit to figure out what colors I needed. So this is probably a lighter color. I'm going to start this out and then see what I need to do. I probably need to lighten that up. So I get the best effect by, I sort of blend right on the palette while I'm painting. So I went over and I got that golden straw color. I'm going to get some more of that because I want that to be a little bit of a, yeah, kind of a, oh, like the sun is shining, kind of hitting that area. Then I clean my brush out, or I don't really clean it out. I just get the bulk of it off. And then I'm just gonna blend that down into the muzzle. Can't see it. And actually I need to add a little bit of a gray. So I come over here to my palette. I do what's called, I don't know what the real name of it is, but I do what's called a brown gray. So this kind of was my brown gray. I'm gonna get some more of that, what do you call it? Burnt umber, and I'm gonna pull some of that over with this gray because I want kind of a brown gray happening. So I'm gonna take that, get the excess off. Too much still, dab it off. I'm gonna just dab just a little bit because I want that gray to kind of blend down. Still, I'm gonna dab more off. And then I'm gonna go over and get some more of my sienna and blend that gray in. Still don't like that. I do a lot of just wiping off the excess over here. Still not crazy about what's happening. So it's kind of a trial and error. I think it's too... I need a lighter. See, here's the picture. I need a lighter gray. So I'm going to go over here and get my lighter gray, get more of that umber, burnt umber, because I need kind of a brown gray. And then I'm going to come back here. Yeah, this is a little bit better. And just keep working until I blend that into that sienna. Actually, I need to get this blended in down here. I need a little bit of brown, so I'm just going to go get some of that burnt umber. And too dark. So I just keep working until I get the color that I want. That's pretty good. Making sure that I blend in that muzzle. I'm going to get a little bit of that darker gray with the burnt umber. Just making sure that I blend that nose on up. So, and this is what I do. I am not, I mean, I did take art classes in, when I went to school, like many decades ago. I thought I was going to be an art teacher. But then I decided, I took several art classes, and I love art. I have always loved art. I've always been creative, and I have always enjoyed art. But then I decided that I probably needed to do something that was going to be more guaranteed as far as income is concerned. And so I switched to elementary ed, and I incorporated back in the early days when teachers could teach what they wanted. I mean, we taught curriculum, but we didn't have a ginormous list of mandates that we had to follow. And we could teach more creatively back then. So I would incorporate a lot of art into my classroom. In fact, I started a company in my classroom called CNC Company, and my students made arts and crafts and sold them in the school store. So I've always enjoyed art. I've always loved doing things with my hands. And then when I retired 2 years ago from teaching in 2021, I wasn't really quite sure what I was going to do. I kind of felt like a BB in a jar. Like I was just, it took me a while to find my new normal, I guess, if you want to call it that. And I had a friend encourage me to try to do something out of my home to earn extra money. And I started offering paint classes to kids, just kids that I knew. And so then my sister, she is the executive director for a Therapeutic horse riding program here locally. And every year they have a fundraiser to raise money for their program. So I just, on a whim, I decided I had found this really cool door hanger company that her name is Tamara Bennett, and she is with Southern Adornments, and she offers different training classes, projects, that you can watch the video and paint along with her and learn how to do the door hanger. So I did a Lola the Highland Cow door hanger, which was really cute, and it just had a big kind of a whimsical Highland cow on the door hanger, and I really enjoyed just painting along with her. Really enjoyed the process, really enjoyed it. So then on a whim, I told my sister for the fundraiser for the therapeutic writing program, I told her that I would paint all 11 of their horses. So I was just thinking, it's going to be kind of like the Lola, the Highland Cow, kind of a whimsical, it'll be cute, maybe, people buy them for $25 or whatever, not a big deal. I guess I really wasn't expecting very much. So I did the first one, and it turned out okay. Wasn't my best work. It turned out okay. It was cute. But then when I did the second one, it seems like I just got more serious about it. And wow, the second one was a bay, Van Gogh. And Van Gogh turned out really nice. I was really surprised. I was really surprised by my skill, I guess. It was not whimsical. It was more lifelike than I expected. And so this is horse number 8 that I'm on right now. And it seems like with every horse that I do, it just gets more refined. Now, I will tell you, it takes me hours to get the horse right. And then even when I think I'm done, I take it into my husband, and he helps me to look at it. When you're looking at something like, I'm not even videoing my work, sorry. When you're working on something like this for so long, you kind of just get tunnel vision, I guess, and it's hard for you to see the forest for the trees, I guess. So anyway, I take it to my husband, and then he helps me to look at places that I need to fix or details that I need to work in. Usually it's like, you need to blend this a little bit better. So these later horses that I've been doing, I've been really, really trying to work on my blending. The last horse that I did took me about 10 hours, but it's the best horse that I did. So blending is key, I think, to getting it right. In the meantime, I have been getting some orders, I guess is what you call it, commissions, I don't know. In painting, I think they call it commissions, just to show you how much I'm up on all of this. To paint pets for people that I know, and I've enjoyed that. I've painted my first big pet painting was a beautiful golden doodle, and I'd never done a golden doodle before. But gosh, it turned out really good. And I think the owner was really pleased, too. I see how I'm working in that darker color, because I know that that's a dark area for the horse. Anyway, she was really pleased. So then I did, what was my next one? I did another doodle with a dachshund. I added 2. So I did my first dog, a doodle, and then I ended up adding 2 dogs on my next one. I don't like that color. me straighten it back out. They turned out really cute. So then I got an order to do an IKEA and another, I'm not really sure what kind of dog it was, cute little Chihuahua looking dog. And that turned out really good. And then I got to do 3 animals. I did a cat and 2 dogs. And they really did turn out nicely. So, and now I'm back to the horses. So I have to get these horses done by August. So I'm making good time on this. So anyway, this is what I do, or how I do it. And I do have an easel, but I have tried to use an easel, but I just struggle, I guess, because I'm I don't know, because of my technique, I guess. It's just harder for me. Now, when I did the doodle, I did use the easel because I had to really work on figuring out that doodle hair. And that was, and you know, I should probably say that with every one of these that I do, I'm praying. I am praying and asking the Lord to help me, because without him, there's no way. I have told, my pastor asked me, he said, where'd you learn to do that? Honestly, Holy Spirit. I mean, I had classes, you know, back at Southwestern, like I said, decades ago. Like, we're talking the 80s. I graduated in 86. Is that right? 86, yeah. From Southwestern, the first time. And then, so it had to have been, well, no, that's not right. I graduated 89. I graduated from high school in 84. So the art classes were back in like 86, because I took those first. Anyway, I told him, I said, it's the Holy Spirit that's helping me. Because honestly, yeah, we did painting. We did more watercolor stuff than acrylic back in school. And I did some painting then, but nothing like this. Nothing. And, you know, honestly, I had to really kind of figure out my technique. It's like, oh, how am I going to get the looks of the horsehair? I had to really like figure out the horsehair thing. Then when I went to the doodle, oh gosh, holy cow. So again, I was praying. I was like, God, how am I going to get this doodle hair? And he helps me so much. Like the other day I was working on the trio, the cat and the 2 dogs. I could not get the tongue of the second dog. I could not get that tongue color. And, you know, you learn stuff and then you forget it. And so I forgot my color wheel. So I was like messing with reds and pinks and whites and black, trying to get it a darker tone, a lighter tone. I was doing everything that I knew to do. And I was like, God, please help me. What am I doing wrong to get this? I can't get this tongue color. And so I felt impressed. It's like, oh yeah, blue, that's right. Red and blue make purple. And I needed a shade of purple in that tongue. And so he helped me with that. But those are just examples of how he's helped me with this. So anyway, This is what I do. I'm sure other people could look at this and think, gosh, she's doing it all wrong. Well, and I tell people, in art, there is no right or wrong. When you're creating, now there's probably some techniques that I could probably learn to help me out, make it go faster. But I don't know, maybe not. Maybe not. Some of it's just trial and error. Like the other day when I was doing the other sorrel, like I said, getting the sorrel color, whoosh. When I was doing that other sorrel, I just kept working until I found the color and the blend that I wanted. Like right now, I'm really trying to make these colors blend together. And I want a lighter over here because of the way that the sun is shining. Yet it's not as light as this middle section is going to be, so I have to kind of gauge how much light do I want in this section right here to make it look like the real face of the horse. Oh, I also did a cow. I forgot about the cow, Annabelle. Very first cow. Turned out really nice. Pretty cow. See, I still see a very definitive line there. I want to get rid of that. So I'm going to come over here and get more of this burnt umber. See if I can make that line fade a little bit, because there's a dark portion that goes down the center of this horse's face. But I want to make sure that I don't have a very definitive line. There, that's better. Sometimes you just have to let it dry. Sometimes I know that Bob Ross used to say, what was it? A happy accident, I think is what he used to say. And sometimes after it dries, it's like, whoa, that's intense. Like, I did not even know I was doing that. But when you get it to dry, it's like, oh, wow, that's really cool. So sometimes you have like a happy accident. It's like, And, you know, horses have lines in their faces, like veins and different highlights. Well, I can even see where I've just laid down, I know what color of paint that I want because of my technique that I use. This part of the face does, I didn't mean to make these lines, but because of the technique that I use, it makes those lines. And Sometimes I work them out if they're not supposed to be there, but sometimes I look back and go, whoa, that's cool because they need to be there. Like I can see this line right here. It's not intentional, but it kind of looks like the horse's face. So I really try to get this as much like the horse as possible. I want a little bit more gray down here to blend that muzzle up into the hairline. So I just want to do that a little bit. Okay, I think I'm going to have to take a look at the actual picture on my phone to see how I'm faring here. Anyway, thanks for joining me. See you later.